At first glance, you might presume that these nicely dressed high school students are at the state capitol in Austin taking a tour, learning the history of the building, and maybe catching a portion of the 84th legislative session.
We went back constantly, like
we bugged them. We bugged them. We wanted to get our point through with them, so
we didn't take no for an answer.
Persistency and the power of face-to-face persuasion was the key for these three fresh-faced lobbyists in support of a bill that would connect medical schools in upstate Texas to the newly proposed medical school in the Rio Grande Valley.
When we told them that we were high school students, their eyes just lit up. They were like, wow, they were so impressed. We were trying just to meet with the representatives or senators, but of course they weren't always there. They're busy people. But we would talk to their chief of staff or whoever was in charge, and we would explain to them, we would tell them our House bill, but we would continue going back to try to get the representatives so they can see how proud we are of this House bill, and they can see the dedication that we put through this.
House Bill 3467, co-authored by our very own state representative Armando Mando Martinez of District 39, explores the possibility of using a fiber optic cable connection with full live motion video conferencing, allowing students in the Valley interactive access to doctors and professors from established medical schools in places like San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas.
South Texas would benefit from House Bill 3467 because Texas is the largest state in the contiguous United States. The opportunities in South Texas in particular are growing at an exponential rate. Many schools are implementing distance learning programs in order to reach their students as much as possible. HB 3467 can provide these institutions with some guidance and data to best develop these programs and provide students in the area with educational opportunities. You know that we just merged our two universities down the Rio Grande Valley. We created UT Rio Grande Valley. Now we have a medical school which can directly benefit from this study because they're going to use the distance learning in their curriculum.
I want to be a doctor, and to have the fiber optic line at the RGV Medical School would be amazing because I would be able to stay home. I wouldn't have to go to Austin or to Houston to go do my preceptorships. So this is a big advantage for me.
We all know high school kids are changing their minds every day of what they want to be. So to be able to have this, it's a really good opportunity. I know many parents would like for their kids to take instead of having to pay so much money for one class when there's so many opportunities in there that you can take.
Alyssa, Gabriela, and Valerie are part of a group called the South Texas Youth Congress, made up of an elite group of students from 14 counties ranging from Corpus to Brownsville to Laredo. According to the STYC website, the purpose of the youth organization is to evoke a sense of place and community and provide real-life and tangible opportunities for students to mold public policy.
This was hands-on and not just through a textbook or through videos. I experienced it myself, and being able to talk to representatives and then having to talk to our own state representative, Mr. Martinez, and tell us that Republicans heard the word and was just amazed by us doing this.
Junior, just splendid young ladies, incredibly encouraging. Not only were they from my hometown and my district, shows how smart they are, but they are very mature and driven and intelligent young women that I know will contribute to their community. I know all of their parents. They're splendid, very smart. I was proud to see these young ladies take a leadership role and involve themselves in their state government.
I mean, when I came back, I was in awe. Like, I couldn't even explain to the other counselors, to Mrs. Morales, the administrators, the opportunity that the students had. It was just, I told them that it was just amazing, that the hands-on that they had and how well they had done, how impressed, you know, all the state reps were, the feedback that we were getting.
House Bill 3467 may be a new concept in Austin, but not new to our district. The brainchild behind the high school to med school approach originated here by our superintendent, Dr. Ruben Alejandro.
The idea is to prepare kids to be able to take their pre-med requirements in high school and then be able to take their MCAT as a senior and be able to score high enough so that they would have all the requirements that they need to be able to apply to medical school and be accepted. Now, one of the problems that happens is they look at high school kids and they think their high school kids are not very mature. But I beg to differ, because you know what? We have the very best kids in the whole wide world here at Weslaco ISD. We have top-notch kids. You know, they're brilliant, they're our future leaders. That's what makes me so confident in our future, that these are the kids that are going to be our leaders 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
He had us meet with all the principals in the WST to show them like what our high school kids are accomplishing, that it's just the three of us right now, but sooner or later it's going to be a whole classroom of kids who are as dedicated as we are to pursue the things that we want to, and how if we want something that we're going to go out and get it, we need to give students more opportunities to be able to stay here, because the valley is just going to get bigger and bigger, so we need the talent to stay here.
I think they were very interested, and they were very proud of us, because we're just like we were saying before, we're high school students and we're up there in the Capitol. They were very excited, they wanted to learn more about it, and they were very supportive of it.
One of them was a freshman. Out of this group, she was the only freshman. We had a sophomore. Out of the group, she was only one of two sophomores. And we had a junior, no seniors. These are underclassmen. And they were over there in Austin at the state capitol, and they thought that they were lobbyists, because that was the way they came across. Freshman, sophomore, junior, they came across as lobbyists. And then when they found out they're not lobbyists, well, they must be college students. No, they're high school students. And then to top it off, we have underclassmen. But that is the caliber of kids that we have in our school.
The planning, labor, and materials that would go into a fiber optic connection are still years in the making. But for these three Weslaco High School students, there are more immediate benefits.
Minister Martinez already offered to write me a letter of recommendation, so I'm like extremely excited to start making my resume and everything for next year.
When I was in 8th grade, I never thought that I was going to be doing this, going to the Capitol, getting my name out there, being noticed by Republicans, representatives, and senators, that just never give up. Anything is possible. Just have faith that you can do it.
The word around the state capitol is that the First Lady of Texas, Cecilia Abbott, was so impressed by our students from Weslaco that she too is behind the bill. So when asked how they would feel if their lobbying efforts were successful and the bill had passed,
well, if it does get passed, our names will be on the bill, so that's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot for us, and I think it would help our little brothers, our little sisters, our cousins, like everyone else below us. It would be like a great help for parents and students.
Seeing as how they've gotten a bill filed and heard in committee, I would say their voice is very powerful. Talking to many of the legislators on the floor of the House, my own colleagues, they were very, very happy to see that. Many of them came up to me and would tell me, Representative, I spoke to your students. They're very intelligent. They know what they're talking about, and we're going to help you with your bill. We're going to vote for that. It sounds like it's a very, very good bill, and we're here in support. I've even had legislators want to sign on to the bill because of how these students have carried themselves and how they've spoken about it. Our state has a high population of young persons. If we ignore and neglect them, we're only turning our backs on the future of our state. It's our responsibility to listen to them and guide them as they grow and mature. They are the future.
I'm Steve Valdez reporting for KWES TV.